Okay guys, we're back again with yet another image. In this case it's the rear of the motherboard. It's called the back panel or back plate. If you look at these different parts to it, there's lots of different connections. Some you recognise straight away. For example, over here you can see USB, universal serial bus connections. There's two that are vacant, not getting used, and over here next to it two are getting used. So this one's got 4 on the back, and usually you plug in your various devices like keyboards and mice and things like that. In the far right hand side we can see there's partially obscured is the connections for the sound card. There's an option for a line in for plugging in your different musical devices. There's also one for the speakers and also one for a microphone. Further to the left you can see these two here. These are called PS2 ports. They're legacy connections for old mice and old keyboards. They do get used sometimes. You do come across a mice you might want to buy or a keyboard that has that connection, but usually they're defunct and no longer used. Over here, if you look, we can see there's this thing here. It's called a DVI connection. It's for plugging in different devices like a monitor, if it has that connection, and television and things like that. I also have up here, we have a serial port and also VGA connection. The serial port, again, it's a kind of legacy port now. You can use it for some reasons, although it's hard to find a reason these days. Another one obviously is just a VGA connection for plugging into your monitor. Over here on the right hand side, this cable here, it's very hard to work out what it is if you haven't seen it before, but this is an Ethernet cable or an RJ45 connection, and this plugs in here. And if you have a wired network, you'll have one of these plugged into the back of a device, but typically these days people have wireless connections. So obviously it's a change in technology. So some of these things here you do see are legacy, old fashioned, never getting used, and some things are more up to date.